Hi guys.
Hello.
As you can see, we're in a different environment.
Yep. Different room.
Different room. And this is because I have moved away from Dublin. It's okay.
So sad.
I'm currently living in Cork. As some of you know, I graduated medical school and I got a job. I'm currently working as an intern in surgery here in Cork, and it's about 2.5 hours away from Dublin, so I moved away. At the moment, David and I are kind of splitting the visits, so every other weekend I am in Dublin and every other weekend he's in Cork.
And that sort of brought back some memories yesterday when I came here of quite early on in our relationship, I would say, when I lived in Kenya, and Adanna was of course in Dublin studying, and yeah, we were reminiscing about it yesterday a bit and thought we might share with you our experiences of having a long distance relationship.
Yeah, we know that there are a few of you out there that are currently in a long distance relationship or about to embark on a long distance relationship. So we're going to share with you the way that we survived the earlier days of our relationship living apart.
So I think first of all what helped me and what I think of as the most important part is obviously your mindset. So what I mean with that is both of you need to be absolutely sure of where you stand in your relationship. So that obviously also means that you have to talk about it very openly ideally before you even embark on this sort of journey of long distance. And if you both are on the same page in terms of this is sort of a long-term relationship now, this is potentially even the partner I want to marry in the future and so on, that I think for me was always the anchor I could hold on to and always remind myself, I'm doing this for a purpose. There's an end goal, this is temporary, and that really helped me through it.
We went to university together, some of you know that, and we were friends for a long time before we started dating. I knew that I could trust him. When we started the relationship, I knew that he was very reliable, so having my boyfriend at the time live in a completely different country, I wasn't paranoid at all, like what is he going to be doing, is he going to be flirting with other women, is my relationship over? Those questions didn't get me worried at all. And even now that we've started another long distance relationship, we're married now, so I'm not bothered.
But it's true, you bring up a good point, because another aspect is certainly trust. Right? Even in a normal relationship where you live together or live in the same city, trust is of course crucial, but I think when it comes to long distance, trust is even more so important. So I feel like it can only really work properly if both sides 100% trust each other, right?
If you're having doubts about your relationship, if you don't trust each other, if you're sneaking around, going through each other's phones, looking for the last woman who texted and looking at what pictures he's liking on Facebook and Instagram, you know, all that paranoid shit, if your relationship is currently in that state, living apart, being in a different country is certainly not going to help. So you must have 100% trust.
Communication is very important as well, since you don't see each other so often. Of course, talking on the phone, messaging or Skyping, of course, most importantly, is crucial. And I think what helped us, we talked about exactly our schedule, so we knew, okay, you know, this person, I'm busy from that time to that time, so there are no wrong expectations. Because the worst is, like, when you're not even there to see each other face to face, the worst is to disappoint somebody. So what we did, we talked about our schedules. We said, okay, I'm off work or I'm off lectures at that time. Let's talk at 8, let's say. Okay, so really clearly, I know this might sound not the sort of most romantic, if you want, having sort of appointments.
And
but
time difference, sorry.
Of course, in our case, it was time difference, but it is very important, because otherwise you can only get disappointed.
Looking back, I'll tell you, it was very frustrating because he lived in Kenya. I mean, sometimes the network wasn't always very reliable, so the Skype was disappointing, phone calls was very expensive, but we understood that, you know, but we still managed to communicate. Even if we were sending each other an email or sending each other a text message, we knew, you know, knew that we made contact every day. So communication is very important.
I think also another point was to also respect and understand if sometimes maybe there's something coming up on the other side, if you want. So even if you had said, okay, at that time let's talk, you know, there are always things that might come up important, maybe you have to stay longer at work or at uni, or there's this really important, maybe a friend really needs your help in that moment, and to then obviously not get disappointed because you're not really there, and of course on your end you're waiting for that call, you miss your partner and whatnot, but really showing a lot of understanding and respect, I think, also helps. In our case, because it was very far away, of course, and we couldn't just kind of take a train or like now drive over the weekend, we only could see each other maybe every 2 months or so. I think it helped me to plan our visits ahead, right?
Yeah.
And because that at the end of the day motivates you, because you have something to look forward to, right? So if you already know in 3 months time or in 2 months or whatever, I'm going to visit Adanna, and then after that, I know that 2 months later, she's also going to come and visit me. So planning ahead your visits early enough, I think is also important for your own sort of peace of mind, and also to have something to look forward to.
Yeah, don't just wing it. If it's really long distance, it needs planning, it needs structure. Look at your schedules. You know, if you're in college, you know when you're going to be on holiday. If you're working, you know how many days you get off, or you know how many annual leave days that you get. Booking your flights early, making sure everything is planned really helps, because even in terms of the prices, like flight prices could be quite expensive if you do things last minute. Just for you emotionally, knowing that in a little while you see your partner and also knowing that you've taken care of the financial aspect of it is really helpful.
And guys, you know how even when you live with your girlfriend or fiance or wife together, you know, we want to do this sort of occasional sweet things, maybe buy a flower here, or, you know, surprise them on a Sunday morning with breakfast, all these little, you know, small little things. Of course, that gets kind of tricky if you know, are in a long distance relationship, because always just sending I love you so much and whatnot, or on Skype, you know, is nice, but it's not really enough. So one thing I think that I decided at the time was, you need to still come up with small little things, okay, to show, because you can't do all these little things like washing the dishes or do, you know, whatever, doing laundry to show your love and appreciation. You're far away, you can't do those things, and words are sometimes not enough. So I always made it my sort of little task myself to at least once a month find something small, special that I can do. So you can still order in flowers. You can still send something online, for example, right?
Can I give my story about one of the times you sent me flowers?
I was hoping she wouldn't bring that up, but
you know, I think one of the days, I think it was Valentine's Day, but before then, so obviously
I'm quickly going, okay?
No, you have to hear this. So it was Valentine's Day, and of course David had gone online to order beautiful flowers, a teddy bear, chocolate, champagne, you know, all that. Well, I think the people who delivered it were really careless about it. So by the time they brought the flowers, everything, the roses were all broken, the teddy bear was squished, the card was, everything was just a disaster. So I spent time crying in my bedroom.
It was so bad.
And I think it was me not really understanding that it wasn't your fault. I just thought, oh my God, David sent me broken flowers and a squished teddy bear. And of course, like, that's where I suppose communication comes in, because when we talked and he saw how sad I was, and he said, listen babe, I hope you can really understand that it's not my fault. Obviously, I didn't order crushed flowers online. It had to be, you know, it was the delivery service and everything. But I mean, the gesture was what counted.
You see?
Really,
yeah. Or sending, sometimes even already helps sending a small letter, right? Because emails are already good, but as well, again, something actionable, physical in the hand sometimes is quite
I have
special.
a lot of your handwritten letters, and I thought, you know, going, you know, old school is quite romantic. I knew that David really needed to go to Kenya to take that job, because, you know, it was going to help his career. Of course, there was no discussion about me leaving Ireland, because I was already in medical school. So number one is the sacrifice, understanding that your partner needs to progress in their career as well. So that was one of the things that made me feel comfortable with, you know, accepting that David needed to go to another country. Another thing that helped me was having a clear timeline. I knew that he had to take that job, but he had signed a contract, I think maybe for like 18 months or something. So I knew that it wasn't a situation of him staying in Kenya forever. He still was going to come back, and at some point we were going to start our lives together. So having that kind of clear timeline, knowing that it's temporary, is also very helpful. So right now that I'm in Cork, like my internship is for 1 year. Every other weekend I'm in Dublin, every other weekend I'm in Cork, but at least knowing that in a year I will be done with my internship and I move back to Dublin, I know that my move here is temporary. So you know, that doesn't get me too down. If you are going to embark on a long distance relationship, or you're talking with your partner, you must be able to sacrifice, because you don't want to look down the road and feel like you've held someone. And secondly, having a clear timeline, discussing how long it's going to take, you know, in terms of months or years, you know, makes it easier for both of you. This brings us to the end of this video. It sucks to be in a long-distance relationship.
It's not nice, trust me, nobody likes it, but for a short period of time it can even be nice for a relationship. You know, you appreciate the other partner, your partner even more afterwards, who knows? But at the end of the day, it's a sacrifice. There are better times to come. You'll get through it. It's all gonna be fine. We were fine. We're gonna be fine now. And it's all good.
Yeah, so good luck to you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So after Adanna had told her parents, it took them about 1 full year to agree to finally meet me.